Yeah, hello. Yo, hi. How you doing? You know, the hairstyle is so old now. I need to change it. It's even crying for help. I don't know, but all my sweater about like this. It's reminding me like I got a short hair. It's almost reminding me like I got short hair. So I gotta welcome to the show, y'all. Me acting silly. You're welcome. Let me share the link. God, I am a kissing court. But yeah, welcome to the show. Your girl is here. You know, I'm just here making fun of myself, my hair, how old it is. I need to make time and get it done. But you don't worry about that. Right now, what's happening in my city? It's snowing cats and dogs. Not rainy, but it's snowing cats and dogs. It's crazy. This winter, I think since 20, is it 15? Yes, that's 2015. This is the coldest and snowing we've ever got. But the weather is weathering today. I was so lazy. I didn't feel like doing absolutely anything. All I wanted to do was just sleep. Don't ask me why. But that's all I wanted to do. You guys are. Hmm. You guys, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to chill and sleep. Tonight we're talking about this topic that everybody and their mama always talk about. Like, especially when you watch these dating shows, they're always saying love at first sight, love at first sight, love at first sight. And then I'm getting distracted here. You say, yeah, I could be teaching that time like people teaching socks. Oh God, I am like a zombie. My life is literally upside down. This whole schedule is not gonna work. I thought, how you doing? You know, I thought about it. I said, somebody gonna catch up with this whole changing time. No, we're gonna go back to the early show. It's just this the whole week. I needed to catch up on my sleep during the day, my people. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have a time. Maybe I should have been like other podcast hosts. They just show up when they show up. I don't know what happened to me, Felicia. Um, Telling y'all I'll be here at this time, at this time. I already set myself up. No, but I really wanted to be at 7 because it's easier for me to like do it early and then go through my different thing, especially with summer coming. I'm gonna be outside. Summer is coming. I'm gonna be outside. So I'm just letting y'all know now. I'm gonna be outside this summer. So they are sure busy. Like y'all be having they want to come back from outside. Lord, oh my, no, they. Okay, you guys. I apologize. I changed the time. It's just right now. It's so much going on. I feel like this whole shift thing I could put myself in. I don't know how people do this whole thing, working this night shift thing. How you do it forever? How you do this thing? You need to tell me the secret. Is that a vitamin I'm supposed to be taking? Like because everybody else told me, yo, just take your B complex. I already take these vitamins and stuff. Like that's not gonna help me. On a regular, I take that. So yeah. Me and my husband talk about it. I'm leaving that overnight. I'm sorry. I'm so I don't think any human being that have a family, children that are underage, you should not be doing that overnight thing. That is a bananas. It's like even when I should be spending time with everybody, I'm sleepy. It's like it's like I'm walking sleep. I can never get enough sleep, you guys. My life, I missed out on so many things the past few weeks. And I'm just like, yeah, Felicia, you need to get your life together. You need to get your life together. This is not working. I got cold. I started getting feverish. Like when I'm not getting those, y'all, I applaud you. I gotta applaud you guys that's been doing this. You guys are the OG. Y'all been doing this for the past, I don't know. I talked to someone and said, I've been doing it all the time. What? Come home, get the kids ready, take them to school, come back, sleep a little. Many days I've slept through the time to pick them up. You guys, I mean, I'm embarrassed to tell you, but I've slept through. So you're gonna pick up the kids, and then my husband's on his way running to go pick them up. How do you people do this thing? How? There has to be other drug I can take to help me cook. I don't. I can never get enough sleep. Like feel like I'm a walking sleepyhead. I'm just like I need to sleep. Ah, I need to sleep. This is horrible. Anyway, now that I've fed to you guys, so y'all understand why the whole changes. Even when I'm off, I feel like I'm not off. I was just like, this is wild. Oh man. Anyway, now that I've vented to you guys, let's get into the show. Thank you, River says bro. Oh, it's gonna get better. Oh, it's gonna get better. I'm going back to working today. Mm, 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 mm. I figured out something with the kids' school and stuff. I already figured it out. I was literally sitting and mapping out, okay, what can I do for them and how can we work out this schedule and get it. Listen, we are going to do that because I can't. I give up. I give up. I give up today. I give up tomorrow. I give up yesterday. Let's see. Let me go ahead and pin the link in the comment section, you guys. And why is it giving me tomorrow? I can't even get up to it. All I'm doing is just like a zombie. Is it? Yeah, I don't even know how I'm dealing with them. They're just surviving too. We're all surviving. What? How you do this thing? And they did too much. Yeah. You're just, don't forget about me. I am weak. I cannot do this. I'm a pillow popper. Pillow popper. He said that there's a pillow popper. I said everybody. You got, they have to, people have to pick something. There has to be something that is helping all these people survive these nights. Because I don't understand. I see some people in them. They're like, hi, good morning. It's 11 o'clock. What are you telling me? Good morning. I can never get used to this. Stop that. Stop confusing my body. Like y'all need to stop. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. I give up. I give up on these people. Then I give up. I'm not doing it. I need to. My husband said, but you don't want to know. You think? You don't want to jump out. You say you want to do. Then be okay. You don't even hear me. I tell myself, oh, I can get my little side hustle. I've been doing it while I do my overnight. What play? Ooh, you guys, I just pinned the link in the comment section. What play I can go ahead to go pick up a side hustle? Side hustle to do what? I can't even like close my eyeball. Living say I'm not living. How would I go? I just said no, 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 no. You guys. No. I pinned the link in the comment section. That I'm taking whole 13 minutes to vent to you guys. Let me go back to this topic for tonight. How would Jimmy get join me? Oh, Jimmy and I were talking about this topic the other day. So tonight's topic is love at first sight. Um, as this for people who don't want to do emotional work. That's my opinion. I feel like people who are quick, why was love at first sight? Mm, that's why we got this Russian man out here giving people ears all over the place, married women. You're coming, you're coming, you're coming. Tomorrow morning, I'll do a little clip for you. You're coming here, you're coming here, you're coming, and I'll post it for a long time. The whole thing, my whole social media presence is just like dead. I'm even getting messages from people talking about you have not been active. Facebook. I'm trying to even figure out how to keep my kids on a regular schedule to eat, sleep, and survive. You talking about Facebook, social media, and get on my face. Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh man. Yeah, I thought this was on my list side hustle. Let me count on there and express myself, enjoy myself on it. Then they're telling me your social media presence is very poor. You have not been online consistently posting and da da da. This is hurting your platform. The labor said that I talked to be running the thing because I said they will turn you into a zombie. I can see the labor online anymore. I'm about to go look for something in a restaurant. The go look for food. I myself don't even have. I go look for iPhone Pro Max 17. I look at the message. I say, check. Liberian people, you can have them. Liberian people, what's wrong with you? You don't have a job. You want to be walking around with a phone that costs that much. You looking to get killed. People are going to kidnap you or do something to you, try to hijack you. Anyway, I just say, sit in your own corner, Felicia, until one day. One day. Okay. But that's all fun. All the fun is over. Let me go to my notes because I got some note for you. So we were talking about this love at first sight, right? So I think Jimmy and I were discussing this. We're talking over the phone. And so there is this guy that is again their whole and I think our whole society, there's a lot of things I've seen and learned, especially in the hospital setting. And I'm like, I knew these things happen, but I didn't know it was going to be like so in my face that I can like literally see it that people just don't care. The relationship thing. I didn't chose I so yeah. So a colleague of mine was talking and they were talking about how they met their partner is love at first sight. And I've seen multiple videos where people just, I don't know. And then within like 6 months, they come back and say, well, it wasn't who he said I was. Love is an investment. Relationship is an investment. You got to invest. When you invest, you get a return. Whatever you put in, you will get it. But if you're like the people in Kenya and Ghana that their partners are investing and they're bringing back aids to them with this rush, I don't know if you guys have heard this news, but anyways, before we do that, let's jump into the story. Let me read my headline. Welcome to Let's Talk with Miss Fee. My name is Felicia, aka Miss Fee or Fee Pansy, your cousin, your niece, your whoever you want me to be. I just can't be your wife. So that one is sticky. But I can be your mama, your daughter, your niece, your cousin, anything. Okay. Your best friend, I can be whatever. Tell people now I'm live. Tell them I'm back. I'm still here. I didn't go missing. I'm just a zombie. And if I came on here, my eyeball like it, you guys would be like, but what's that? They get taking drugs. um, yo, that's my name was that going, again. I used to kind of like Crystal Cole. You see, they get eyeball so red. They were my eyeball already sleepy. Then you times it without me. My people, I'm laughing. People, I'm sorry, I'll call her back. Sorry, guys. I already sleeping. I looking at that zombie. My eyeball already look like it closing in. Then I come on here. I be like, everybody start reporting. They care. I told you the training like in come here. They actually know what. The training can smoke. The training can pop the weed. Oh God. I need to stop. Let me go to the topic. I really need to stop. So tonight I want us to be honest. Let's be honest. Have you ever called instant attraction love because it felt easier than actually getting to know someone? I really do think. I think a lot of people they get tired, like they don't want to do the whole dating thing. It's exhausting to meet somebody, pour your heart and so into them, and then to come back, it's not reciprocated. Like I feel like that's the worst thing that can ever happen to people. Like but then imagine that amplify someone who actually lied to you, make you feel like all the things in the world, and then come to find out they never did. They were just doing it. And that's why I think I said on here, that's why for me, when I was dating, I don't like to ask questions. I think even in real life, even friendship or whatsoever, I don't think you should ask people questions. I think you should make it conversational because through conversation, um, you can get to know who people are. Sometimes you do, like I'm in management, right? And healthcare and in general, like the turnover is really, really bad. Yeah, let me inbox you. I always forget. The thing I can be giving you. Hold on. Let me go to your inbox real quickly. You guys just give me a minute. People just I couldn't give me a minute. All right, I just sent it. So, people pretend, people, like I was saying, I'm in management, and usually when you're hiring people, we've all been there. We want a job. Like right now, I want a job. There's certain position I'm looking for. To be honest with you guys, I'm so tired of management now. Like I'm tired of it. Everything that come with it. I feel like maybe the overnight even made it worse for me to be like, yeah, I don't think I need to take a break from it. I want to be an employee for a little bit. I think I'm still thinking about it. But anyway, that's another topic. Excuse me. That's another topic. But like I was saying, when you're hiring people, you're interviewing people, they're going to feed you. It's already been rehearsed. People know half of these questions. So for me, when I'm interviewing people, I don't do it like questionings. Hey, River Cesspool.
Hey, what's up?
I'm, I'm here. I'm not zombie today.
Yeah, me, I said, don't tell the pill papa. You know, the same thing happened to me with the third
Mhm.
shift. So I'm more
Yeah.
like I'm taking up a utility position now at my job. So the utility is like you
Yeah.
kind of like fill in for other people. I don't even know who told me to take that. So like yeah, when other people don't come in third, because my real shift is second. But of late I've been
Uh-huh.
filling in, and sometimes the third shift fee is from 2 to 2. So I gotta stay.
Woo!
Yeah, it's 12 hours. And when I started taking a NyQuil, the sleep one.
I
Cause when I
can.
yeah, oh, I'm telling you, Fee, you know the children when you come, sometimes some of them they're not sleeping. Is and you got to
Mm-hmm.
sleep. Otherwise, you can't. You go back to work, you it will be
Can function.
yeah, you can't function. So I've been once in a while I will buy this NyQuil, the pill, the little capsule. I'll buy it
Yeah.
and take, yeah, but I don't do it every day, but I do it once in a while. That's why I tell you, don't take the pill popper. Because
I'm
sometimes you try to
telling
find like a remedy for, to, yeah, because we not, your body not used to it, Fee. So
you. Yeah.
sometimes it's just hard, man. It's hard.
Oh, I've been fighting it. Is I
Yeah.
don't know. I've been
Yeah.
asking everybody, what do you guys take to keep you, like doing this thing? Because I don't think I can do this. No, they say, oh, you are getting used to it. A whole month apart.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's hard to use to. It's hard to use. For
And
me,
you come home, gotta put the children into school.
yeah.
Then one of them, they go, she's in this half class. So you can't
Okay.
sleep all the time. And then I have this whole horror thing now because I read some news. This guy, he worked overnight. He came home, he slept, his baby ended up on the porch and passed away.
Oh,
So
wow.
like my whole head is just like, all right. Like
Yeah,
when I'm sleeping, I'm just like, I don't sleep. I just be like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard. And then yeah,
yeah.
for the children too,
Then again, you have to mataragan kind of mommy. You have to open your eyes during the day.
oh, the children got it. What's that movie? Oof. They were just playing it. They just playing in the living room. I forgot that one of the cartoon that their favorite cartoon.
Coco Melly.
Coco Melly. That the Coco Melly. Oh no, that's the only way I can try to get them. And then they got this rain sleep video, where the
Yeah,
rain, yeah, I can put it on for them. My other boy, once he see that, one thing I like about him, as soon he sees that rain thing, because what I do for some reason, the children, I don't know what's wrong with these rebel children. They don't want to sleep in their crib. So
no,
yeah, when I'm in a couch, that's where everybody want to be. So once I put that
mhm.
rain thing on, he would just grab a little pillow, go come right
And
by
we're
me.
laying next to you.
Yep, yep. So yeah, it's kind of like
And you're like, what a blanket. Mommy, can I get my blanket? I said, eh, boy, you slept last night. Can I just sleep? Go play with your toy.
yeah. So it's hard. But anyway, we'll continue to keep you impressed so you
Yeah.
can get it's hard, but yeah,
No,
eventually,
I live in it. I live in it. I can't.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
I know, yeah, the body,
Now
the
my
body.
husband was like, who's saying you?
Yeah, and it's not good for it's not good for the health too, because what happened is what I
Yeah,
noticed is that's one of my problem with the eating, because the time feed that hour of that night, technically we're not supposed to be eating. But if
right.
you later, yeah, you munching something, the snacks and all those stuff. It has, yes. Cause my doctor told me, they were kind of suspending kind of little pre-diabetic, not really, but just
Yeah,
yeah. He told me to avoid eating at night, but that test shit was one of the things, because when I come home, fee. I'll just grab
you're
hell of
not
a bowl
eating.
of rice. Yeah, yeah. In that first shit or second shit, you can guide yourself a little bit, but with the next shit, you can't just help it. You know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what I was doing is, what I do is I'll eat dinner with everybody,
Hmm.
and then I would say I'm not eating. But when I get to work, I'm drinking coffee now, and I never drank coffee before. So I pack the creamer inside.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
I found myself drinking 3 cups. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. Typically, I don't drink coffee, and I'm like, my little way I'm fighting away, it going small one night. Come back.
Oh yeah. Yeah. coffee, I like coffee. I can lie, but I just avoid sugar. I don't do sugar. I just do I just do a lot of creamer because we got a vending machine. I don't even know how clean that thing is. If coffee, who do? Because I kept
They
making
ain't
who
clean
pew.
it. They ain't clean it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that I can just go pew. I put my little dollar in it, get my pick up, put
Ah,
everything in there, and just drink it. That's what I do. I too lazy to make it home.
I'm telling you, they think, oh, we'll survive in America. Then we are waiting for them to rescue that country so we can move by and be in and out. When just wasting time. They bring in yellow machine. Let me stop.
Upon I bring yellow machine. I talk of the time. We will talk against it. They call enemy of the state. So we gotta stay. We gotta support it.
Oh man, everybody bringing that yellow machine been there. I go post that on, I know somebody page I said, we here for this and they come in the person say, you and all, you.
Oh yeah. I saw you on Sunday. I said, fam, that ANC comment, that's good. Yeah,
I like it.
yeah, me too. I do. I'm a weird fanatic when it comes to what he achieved. As
Yeah,
far as but as far as the presidency right now, I've been from last election and this election, I've been leaning really towards comment. I've been following a lot of his interview and things he's been saying. And I'm
yeah.
telling you, Fee, the man, those things just comes naturally to him. The things he say, they are not typical politicians saying. I just
That's why
believe
they
he's
don't
very
want
sincere.
him.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
that's
they
what
don't
it.
want him there.
Yep, you're right. And
They don't
yeah,
want him. You're gonna leak it all out and they're gonna be mad.
you know,
But 2029, I'm going to Liberia, going to help with campaign. I'm not joking.
yeah, myself. I cohort Andrew like rescue man. Oh well, I saw people rescue me. The boom. He honored to can't defend his rescue mission. Deal in the future.
He said I'm gonna go to the losing team. If I want to lose, I'm gonna join you in the losing
Yeah,
team.
Upa would be there when we lose.
I'd
It better
rather lose than win.
lose. It good to lose with the right person and win with the wrong crowd.
Right. Right. Alright, well tonight, oh man, my people, you're just bear with me. We'll come back to reality. But right now, everything else I done with the whole sleeping.
I look at the schedule. The other time you were on, I said, oh, I only saw the replay. I said, oh, when they put it work because I know I was gonna inbox you and say, hey family, I hope everything is okay. This yesterday I saw like the replay. I said, oh, they put it king on what time? So I said, oh, because I know initially it was around 6 o'clock
Yeah,
my time, which was like 7 yard, I think to y'all whatever. But then
we came at 9 yesterday.
yeah, now I said, oh, I saw the replay from you and Dennis. Not Dennis, what's the name?
Jimmy,
Jimmy. So
yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
Tonight yeah, so tonight we're talking about love at first sight. I wish Jimmy was here because he and I are talking about it. He said, yeah, we should talk about it because it's not realistic. A lot of people, I just feel like people who's been hurt for so long and they've been by themselves for a while, they get so caught up with like somebody that they look at and it's like they're infatuated with them and they're like, oh, it's love. And they're looking for that validation for somebody to tell them they love them and then they change it to a love at first sight. So I don't know what you think.
yeah, I just wrote a comment there. I just want to
Mhm.
expand on it. I said that it's not. I don't think it's realistic though. I
Yeah.
think I think that term was coined by men. Um, so what it does is it makes a
Mhm.
lot of women feel divine. Like you the
Mhm.
chosen one. That's
Right.
what. Yeah, that's what that particular phrase does. Love at first sight, and then just imagine you looking around like they got other hot bodies around, and you're like, oh, he chose me.
Wow.
First of all, now you
I
start thinking in
know.
your mind, it's not maybe, maybe it's not about beauty. I mean, look at that other girl, look at her. She's nice. You start looking around you, like you start thinking like, why didn't he choose it? Maybe because I'm special. Now,
Yeah.
you start looking yourself in a divine manner, in a special manner, because he already made you feel like it was love at first sight.
Right.
So I think it was just developed by men just to create. Some of that could be real, but I would doubt the chances of it being real more higher than the chances of it just being like a made up or coin war. Because I mean, imagine, why you were introducing the show. I just thought about a bar. Why in the world you go to a bar and meet a woman talking about love at first? Like, seriously, Fee, is that even the first place to go look for love? Yeah.
I've heard it. I've heard it, and I've been in a group where the girl saw a guy cross in the club, and they're eyeing each other, and they're like, "Yeah, it's love at first sight." But that thing didn't even last for a good 3 months.
Yeah.
Oh my god! But yeah,
And
I agree. I mean, the bar of all places. Well, these days people like to think you can find your spouse anywhere. But I don't know. I don't know about finding your true husband in a club. I guess people can for a few. I don't know for the long haul, but
yeah, when
hey,
I when I met my woman, like I always say on the show, it was in a refugee camp. It was through her
was it love
sister.
at first sight?
I mean, it kind of looked like that though. Now that I think on it,
It
cause
seems like it.
yeah, it seemed like cause her sister and myself were actually in the same school. So
Yeah,
I used to go hang around her sister. Her sister too was she and one of my other buddy, they were in relationship. So I used to go, and then I'm like, oh, who's that? I said, oh, I didn't even know you got a sister. So that was the
but
first
is
time.
that love though? Or is that just like you're infatuated with her?
Yeah, but at that point though, I didn't like I said, she didn't really take me serious at that time though. So
She didn't
yeah,
believe you were on love at first sight.
exactly. She didn't believe it because I was part of. They used to have certain group. We were just group of boys who were. I used to hang out with this one guy. He was a smart. He was one of those street smart guy. So when you hang out with circle, they just man, those kind of like
Yeah,
Yahoo boys, kind of guys who those player club. Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah,
So I
she
don't want you want to play a game with people here
exactly.
for
That's what
love.
she thought. You say, look at it when you're big, that hustle, you're hustling, you you can get good, get it, who can cook, who can because her family was, her dad, they were a little bit they were kind of like they had support, back in the refugee camp. You got somebody in
Yeah,
America, you well supported, cooking every day. So she thought I was one of
right.
those. Yeah, she said, yeah, look at it, they're looking for somewhere to come be getting
To
food and
be
be
eating. That's funny. That reminds me of college. All the
eating.
boys used to be like, "Oh, when did you learn how to cook?" I'm selling this food. I used to sell food every weekend. Don't come to me with that relationship stuff. This food is for sale. You don't have $5. You're not eating.
Uh, yeah, but then then eventually, but she herself told me, she said, I didn't even like you. She said, I told you, yeah, she told me, she said, I used to see you with Chris, they call the guy Chris. She said, I just told her you were like Chris. You got Chris got a bad reputation with girls. So I said,
Yeah.
oh,
How
yeah,
did
but
you feel though? Now, a little bit off topic. How did you feel when she said she didn't like you? Because I felt like my husband felt some type of way when I said that. He was like, "What?" I said, "But yeah, didn't really."
yeah, for me, Fee, I kind of like, cause I mean, I kind of like, um, I didn't feel offended. I didn't feel
Okay.
like, yeah, cause see, I actually knew because she left even after the time. I told her sister that I like her, and her sister told her she didn't read it. She left. She went to Liberia. She was there for like a month. Imagine. And then she said she wasn't
Oh
even
wow.
thinking. Yeah, she wasn't even thinking of me. 'Cause when she got back, when she got because yeah,
She told
she
you
just
all this later on.
yeah, she just got out of one relationship, all that stuff in her head and things. So
Yeah.
yeah, she wasn't ready for any. So when she got back, that's when her sister told her, say, "Oh, he been like sister told her I've been going there." She said, "Oh wow, really?" And that's when she said, "Oh well, maybe." Then she thought on it. She said, "Oh wow." So even when I wasn't here, she said he used to come here. She sister said he'll come here and help me do some other thing here. Because she left her
You don't
son
know
there.
about Basa Mini.
Exactly. He would come. Yeah, and then that's how she came back. She said, "Well, I'm gonna give it a try and see." And then that, yeah, but I didn't really feel bad when she told me. I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like my husband, I feel like he was offended when I said I wasn't interested in it. I wasn't even thinking about that. It was like, but I feel like that should be a compliment though, because somebody you were able to get your way through with someone and you're still together. That's a good thing. If somebody was not even, that means you must have really impressed the person and
yep,
did something that really, but at first it was like, okay, what?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You don't have to be. Maybe I was dealing with the wrong people then, and then I was just like gonna lose out on my own thing. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's love. I just feel like people are infatuated. Like you meet someone, but you hear this thing where people say, "Oh, when I met my spouse, everything stopped." I think that's just being dramatic. Like they're like everything stopped. Like I couldn't see anybody else. It was like quiet. It was just us and no one else in the room.
hmm,
I don't know. I felt butterfly in my stomach. Maybe I don't know, but I just feel like people, when you meet people, especially women, are quick to say that, right?
hmm,
That not that men don't say it, but I feel like women are the one who quick to say it was love at first sight, and
hmm,
then eventually men just roll with it with the story. But if you really dig, it wasn't love at first sight from the man end. It's just he. I feel like human being. If you really know how to read human being, right?
hmm,
When you meet someone and you're really paying attention, you can tell what they're into really quickly, and you can mimic that and follow along really fast. Like I like to think I have a really good interpersonal skills, which
hmm,
I feel like I can look at someone based on what we're talking about and I can add one and two and add up to that conversation to be exactly what the person want to talk about. If I'm really attentive, if I'm really interested in whatever it is we're talking about and I pay attention, I'm looking at your body language, I'm looking at everything how you're responding to what I'm saying. And if it's going really good, I know that, oh, you like more of this. You don't, okay, based on how you're responding, you don't like this. So I just feel like when people meet, it's like you look at them. When a man look at a woman, he'll be like, oh, you're so beautiful. Based on how that woman body language and how she responded, it looks like she's been waiting for a long time for someone to tell her how she looks, how she feel, and then they start to feed into that and keep feeding her that, so it makes her more,
yep,
into
yep.
the relationship. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, actually, you're right. It makes sense, but you're absolutely right. But let me ask you this question, Fee. So if you do you think that love at first sight, is that a possibility that it be both ways? Say for example, right? Say your husband, like, say he said, okay, love at first sight. Say, well, when I saw you wherever you met, because I think you say you went on like a party, somebody, some graduate or something.
He was stalking me for a few times.
Okay. uh,
He
yeah.
kept showing up places I went and I'm like,
So
I
yeah,
wasn't paying attention, but later on I started realizing, wait, I'm seeing this guy a lot of places. Then, like, why are you stalking me?
yeah. You like what a minute. You like wait. Hey, what you like? Is it a coincidence or what? How come?
Yeah,
How,
man. I saw him at a party once. Saw him like I went to one of my aunt, her daughter graduation party. Saw him there. Then I saw him to one of my aunt stuff. Then I saw him to my brother's house once. Then I forgot where I was. I saw him again. Then now finally I saw him at my brother's house again. They were having my little niece birthday party. I'm never really around. I only come around that time. And I'm like, I was like, I'm debating in my head now, like, I've seen this guy multiple times. Like, who is he? Like, in my head, I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh, whatever. But he's always staring at me. Like, why are you looking at me?
yeah. But
Yeah,
so
let's go back to what you were
so
saying.
so at that moment though, if say
Mhm.
if a guy was to tell you, say if your husband was to tell you,
Mhm.
like, okay, I met you, I love. It was the first sight, the first time I saw you. Do you think it is possible that it be both ways, or will you find it deceptive if say a woman was to tell them, say a man told a woman, "Oh, the first time I saw you, I love you," and then a woman like me too. Wouldn't you feel a little suspicious if,
Yes.
if a woman be like, "Okay, yeah, me too," when I saw you, like, I mean, how will you feel? Like, in your own thinking, how would it
For
feel?
me,
Is that some desperation for the woman to say, "Oh yeah, me too"? When I saw you, first sight. I mean, what's your thought?
I wouldn't say desperation, but I just think it's kind of like at that point, I wouldn't believe that person because if you felt that way, you would have said it first.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like people say things just for the moment of it and how it feels.
Hmm.
And that's why, you can tell how certain relationship lasts because they start with that innocent thing that's not even supposed to be a lie becomes a lie. Like I just feel like I don't think it has to be both way, but I think most people feel like if the person says love at first sight, they feel like they have to say the same.
Okay,
It's kind
yeah.
of like I feel like people just feel like, well, it's kind of not decent if they say love at first sight, and I said no, it wasn't for me. But I have heard, mostly like Caucasian couples, right? I watched a movie
Hmm.
where the guy said the lady would be like, it was love at first sight, but the guy would say, no, it wasn't for me. And she's fine with it, but I feel like a black woman,
So all the time I'm looking at you, and all the effort she put in to attract your attention. So all the time you ain't looking, you get in trouble for it.
I feel like I'm being culturally biased right now. But I feel like if a black woman, like in that loving moment, you're like, yeah, it was love at first time for me, and it wasn't for me. I feel like she'll feel some type of way. She'll have a lot of conversations she want to have. So what was it for you then? Like it will be a lot of follow up question and a whole lot of grilling, trying to understand, like, well, what were you looking at then? Why wasn't love at first sight? Like, what? How do we even end up together if it wasn't love at first sight? It kind of go back to that whole soulmate thing, right?
Yep.
Sometimes I sit down, I'm like, it's no, like at first I used to believe that, but now I'm just like, no, I don't. I don't think there's such a thing as soulmate. I don't know. I mean, I may be wrong, but I don't think there's such a thing as soulmate because I feel like um if that was your soulmate, then there would have been something in the universe you would have met from the onset. You wouldn't have to go through, all of this and that. And It would just become just natural. At some point of life, your soul would have connected at different point, wherever you're at, a part of the world, there was something that's just going to happen miraculously, and you are going to be together. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking prematurely about it, but what do you think though?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, so for me, I look at something called probability or possibility of things happening.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at. I mean, possibility or probability of some things happening, and
Right.
I don't think there are chances of those things happening though. Like I say, I would say some women, it could be the issue of conformity. Some women just
Right.
want to make the man feel good. Oh, it's the first time. Oh, yeah, me too. So I think, but I don't think in reality, I mean, look at your situation. Like
Yeah.
like, okay, who's this guy just popping up everywhere? You didn't develop any emotional connection
Mhm.
to him or for him.
It took a long time though.
Exactly. You see, so and you are an when I say typical woman, you like a you're not you like a when I say real woman, you're not one of those people fakers out there, So the fact that so people they phone not charging if you what kind of trouble here. So yeah, we can use you as an example that it is it doesn't always happen, so it is. I think people use that to kind of like feel that connection to each other though. But then let's look at if he with the sorry with the children in the background making
No,
noise.
it's
So
okay. My own air and I dropped in somewhere.
yeah. So
Mm,
love at first sight though. What
yeah.
when it comes to like the knowledge of the person, right?
Mhm.
How do you make that say for example, a guy told you or say you fool each other and say you bet each other love at first sight. But then you're gonna introduce this guy to your parents. Like, how does that work? Feel like how so your parents don't look at you and call you. You know how they can say, well, what kind of now your parent might not say, but what I could not work with you. I don't know how they can call it, but when I what can I get? Just in our traditional sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
what can I get? You just see me the first time. So
And you feel love at first
yeah,
cry.
so if okay, let's assume you say okay,
Mhm.
that love at first sight. But Fee, how do you introduce such person? How do you introduce such relationship to your to maybe your family? Are you going to lie? Because you can't imagine Fee when you go tell the people, oh yeah, I met a man. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Most people lie. Most people
Yeah.
lie.
So I mean, how do you? Because feel in a relationship, you need to create that connection. You see how you connect, like with your husband. You say, "Oh, we met at so so place. We met at this place." There were, I mean, even though it was not mutual, it was not like emotional connection, but at least there was something. And you say it took a while. You took time to know each other. But if you met a man the first time, what story you gonna explain to people? Like, I mean, you want to create something. Oh, here myself went to this college, or maybe we met at this place. We were on so so conference. Or I didn't even know that he was in so so group that I was. That connection something. But how do you go and make that introduction and feel to go say like with the love at first sight? What are some of the negative impact of it going to make introduction to your people as far as that love at first sight is concerned?
I know. I feel like that's a tough one, but what I would say, right? Most people who come up with this whole love at first sight thing, right? They're already ready to get married.
Okay.
So I feel like they use that as a to make everybody feels, like it's okay because it's love at first sight. When people say, well, when we first love, we first met, we just connected with each other, not knowing you don't know this person is a serial killer. Like I feel like most of the people that do it, like they're at this desperate need of getting in a relationship And I'm sorry, maybe being a little harsh, but I feel like a lot of the people that most of the time when you hear love at first sight, these people are really, they will tell you, yeah, we got married within 3 months. We got married
Mhm.
within a month. We got
Yep.
married within 2 weeks. You know, like they're like, it was love at first sight. We knew we wanted to be with each other, and that was it. That's all we wanted. So now, coming to your question is like, you're coming to your family
Mhm.
and you're trying to tell them you want to get married to a person you just met 2 months ago. And the only excuse you can give is that it was love at first sight.
Hmm.
It,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only thing, that's the only reason most people will actually be able to use that. Like for us, right?
Mhm.
Um, so according to him, you can almost say it like maybe my husband would say he had love at first sight, I
Mhm.
guess. I don't know. But according to him, because the first time we ever spoke, that actually exchanged word with him was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get married to you," and I was like, "What the?" I said, "What kind of weird?"
You know what?
I said, "What? What do you mean?" We're gonna. I said, "You know what? I'm not interested in that agreement. We can be friends, but I'm not interested." That was my initial. I said, I know you just got here and stuff in Maryland and all that stuff. And, if you need some help, I mean, I've been over here for a while. You can let me know. I can assist you and direct you different resources. But nah, not interested. That was
Hmm. Yeah. But then, but don't you think they got a point though, Fee? Let's not just drag these people love at first sight thing. Let's try to get in some positive. So if I met you, Fee, for example, if I
uh-huh.
met you, it was love at first sight. Do you really think? Okay, because you said, well, they'll say, well, we got married in 3 months. Don't you think
Mhm.
that's I mean that's understandable. So if it was love at first sight, Fee, it's love at
Mhm.
first sight. There's nothing like, I mean, we got married in 3 months because it was love at first sight. Isn't that enough justifiable for our quick wedding instead of why should we go through a lot of things if I see you right away and God and my my heart or whatever divine, what tells them like that's all right there, that's the person. Do you think we need to go through extra courtship or anything? Don't they have a point of saying, well, we can get married a month, 2 months, 3 months, because I mean it's it just comes naturally.
I mean, yes, it worked for some people, and it depends on that. But I would say the majority of them,
Mm-hmm.
it can work for some people depending on the maturity level, and if they're really being genuine to themselves, right? Like,
Yep.
I don't have any hating agenda. I'm who I am, what I says I am, and X, Y, and Z, right?
Yep.
So let me give you recently, because my whole night shift thing, when I'm at work, when I do all my things, I started to watch some stuff just to, keep my night go fast a little bit before I do my other rounds.
Yep.
So I was watching this documentary where this pastor, this is like a real life story.
Mm-hmm.
This pastor, he's a youth, like he's younger in his early or mid 30s, and the elders in the church kind of like trust him and everything. He preach every other Sunday. He's getting there, but he's not married. He getting older, time and time and going. People start murmuring in the church, start talking about what is wrong with him. Why is he not married? People started clocking his activity. What is he doing and all that? But he was a very dynamic person that brought, helped the church grow.
Yep.
But anyways, long story short, there was a family in the church that had their daughter, and she always sat in the front. And I think the rumors were getting to him, and he was living a double life, by the way. So he was undercover homosexual.
Oh
And
wow.
then, but because he knew the church was against it, so he tried to hide it. But anyway, long story short, one day I don't know what happened. What didn't happen? He clocked that girl and told her that the Lord told him she was his wife and that he is very, very pleased and he's attracted to her and it's a love at first sight. When he looked up, he saw her. She was the first person and he had a vision. All the things that you want to hear, right?
Mhm. Yep.
So finally, she didn't want to get married, but because the parents in the church, they said, "Do you know what this means?" Like convince her, and she said, "Okay, we'll have the wedding." So while they were planning the wedding, he didn't really pay attention to her whatsoever. So to get that emotional bond, talk about the value system and all that. She know he's a pastor, but
Mhm.
relationship is a different topic.
Yep.
But he didn't want to. He told her, when we get married, we'll have all the time in the world. It was love at first sight. I loved you and I would care for you. No, no, no. All this stuff.
Mhm.
It was as proof on the wedding day.
Hmm.
On the wedding day, when the woman went, he told her he has to go use the bathroom. He went to the bathroom, he didn't come back. Why are you not coming back? So she went to go look for him. When she entered the hotel room bathroom, what she saw, she couldn't believe he was in diaper.
What? Jesus.
Things are happening around here. He
Hmm.
was in diapers, and when he turned around, his whole, why were out. It was crazy. Everything his, you know, was out, and he started saying X, Y, and Z. He didn't want her to tell anybody. She left. I mean, in that moment, if somebody kill you, what do you say to them? So the reason I'm sharing this, right? It could be where someone is like, I got mad, or now you told me it's love at first sight. And if I wanted to go along, I say, yeah, it's love at first sight. But when she walked in there, what she saw, she couldn't believe. And then it's like, so you lied to cover yourself up so they can say you have a wife who you
Yeah.
homosexual and you're doing a lot of stuff and you're damaged. And
Hmm.
now you want me to be the one covering that. I don't know you from anywhere. Why would I do that sacrifice for you?
Exactly. Wow.
So the relationship, because now she knew, she ran out of there. She never came back to where he was. He tried to kill her. Just a whole lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But that just goes to say, people will say anything because they want what they want.
Yep.
It feels right in that moment. They feel good. Not to say there can be a thing as love at first sight. You can literally see someone, but for me, I wouldn't call it love. I'll call it infatuation. I feel like you saw me. There's something like, for me, I like people who has good hygiene, right? So if I met someone who, um, the first thing I saw is like you have a really bright smile and you take care of yourself. It's like, oh wow, this person look decent. I'm intrigued. I want to know more. Like, is this person single? Is this person available? That's when you start to think that, or there's someone where in your brain they're like, oh my goodness, they're just too beautiful. Like you can't handle it yourself. Wow, they're still beautiful. Because in that moment, I don't think love is sustainable enough for you to keep a relationship. Because love, for me, in my opinion, is all feelings, and if
Hmm.
you don't have substance to add to it, that's how the relationship died. And that's why most relationships that you hear with love at first sight, it end up dying, like it don't last longer. Maybe few, but there are exception to the rule. Maybe few, very few. Maybe when they were teenager, they had love at first sight and they grew up together and then got married and then, they have their family. That you can say, yeah, that was like a puppy love. But I don't know, a grown adult to just look at another grown adult and say love at first sight.
But I,
Oh,
yeah, I got a different because okay, so fee so
uh,
then let's look at the difference. So
mhm,
in your mind, what's the difference? So I'm gonna ask two questions into one. What's the difference between love at first sight and
mhm.
infatuation? So haven't you
That's
been in
a
a
good one.
yeah, haven't you been in a situation where because I'm a man, let me say, I
Right.
mean, I'm not perfect. Sometimes there are
Right.
times that you go to a place and you see a woman right away, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah, you can for some
I think
reason, I
I
don't
think human
know.
being. I think women have that moment too.
Yeah. So but then how do we know? And what's the difference now? Because if I see a girl and I'm looking at her, for me, one thing, one thing about me, thank God, let me close my door so she get like people that will get trying to, yeah, for some reason they will look like wifey. They will kind of have that same characteristic. That's how she think to
Oh,
like,
you're blessed.
yeah, like this one actor that look like me. I will be talking about the guy, and I get jealous. She say, "Oh, he looks like you. He got the same face." I said, "Why you keep talking about?" I said, "He's a Nigerian actor, you know." So, yeah,
You will never meet him. So
yeah,
don't forget about that
exactly.
one.
So, how do we know? I mean, how do we draw the line though? How do we know the difference between what love at first sight? Because the love at first sight, people will say, well, I mean, we told you that it can happen. Sometimes you see people and you can just tell right away, you look at them, there's something your inner self tell you. Because for them, they will try to make the point that it's not just about their physical appearance, but it's more like some connection. And how can you fight that? Somebody say that something is from my heart, my heart telling me, fee, how can you go against somebody, telling them, well, my intuition is telling me she's the person. Like, how can you say, well, your intuition is wrong? They'll be like, okay, you don't know my intuition. You don't know what I think and what I don't think. You don't know. So how do we draw that line up between what is infatuation? How can you tell a person, well, you man move from here, there's now no love at first sight. That's pure infatuation. How how can we tell?
Hmm. That is a good question. And as you're talking, I'm like, let me go see if there's any research on this.
Mhm,
Because that has to be something that people really, been curious about. Because that is a really good question. I didn't even think about that. Um, the only thing that, in my own opinion, before I even look at this, that I will say, as you're saying that, you're right. Because sometimes your intuition, you meet someone and your spirit just meet, and that's why I said maybe. Um, I guess that's where the whole soul tie comes from,
mhm,
like that spiritual connection. Because my husband said when he saw me, he was like, "Oh, I need to get to know that girl." Like he didn't know anything about me. I don't even say anything. I don't. Whenever I'm around, just if people who really knew me now, they see me now, I'm all on this thing talking. They're like, "What? That girl can talk." But when I'm places, I'm very quiet. I'm just observing, like just looking. Unless I see someone there that I know I'm comfortable with, then I'll crack a conversation.
mhm,
But I'll just be looking and just, observing, and then I'll take my leave and go on about my business. So, but I'm just thinking like the differences in my opinion will probably be like, hmm, it's almost as so that physical attraction, like you're only basing the love on what you see on the outside, right?
mhm,
But infatuation could still be the same. Like, do you just go around you're loving people you don't know? Like, I don't know. Like, I would think you would have at least had a conversation with a person,
mhm.
like, okay, let's talk about this gentleman that passed away. May his soul rest in peace. Charlie Kirk, right?
Yep.
So I watched a video of he and his wife where they were talking about how to meet, right?
Mhm,
And he immediately, I guess she went to go look for a job. And then he told her at that end of that interview, say, I actually want to date you. So would you say that's a love at first sight? I mean, according to them, they might call it love at first sight, but I can kind of see what that fit into that love at first sight because you sat there and had a whole conversation with the person, and based on what you're hearing, aligning with what your life purpose is, and you're like, ooh, I like that. Like I'm connected to that. Or some people, like they don't care about having conversation with you. They just care about how you look on the outside. Like if you fit this whole hourglass shape that everybody's interested in, and the man look across the room and you fit into that, and then, to him he's in love. Maybe that's his definition. So I guess you. Wow, that's a tough one. That's a good question though.
Yeah,
How
but
do
with
you?
it,
Mhm,
so let me come back to the Charlie Kirk thing, right? So two things.
mhm,
I know Charlie
yeah,
Kirk, then yeah, the mega people, Charlie Kirk, then Candace Owens, then them your people. But okay, with the
oh my
Charlie,
goodness,
yeah. So with the Charlie Kirk
we
thing,
coming after them.
yeah, I know. So let's look at the Charlie Kirk thing though. First of all,
Mhm,
I don't know if because that lady was a model. Model than the hat, yeah. I mean, I think she's a model, so that she was like exceptional. I know now she look a little bit, but back then some of the picture when you see it, she was imagined like so.
those are all touch up. Those are all touch up.
Yes, that she was irresistible, man. I mean, so but then if you for I wouldn't see it as love at first sight. If you have to interview a person, see, I think there's
Mhm,
so much you are known about them,
mhm.
through interview, because it's like a whole conversation. You know, look, if
Right.
you like person that you feel you go for an interview and you present yourself, some guys will look at you. I bet a lot of interviewer look at you, your output, your intelligence. It's not just the physical beauty part of it, your output, your
Yeah.
intelligence. They asking you why you think you would do better on this job. Just why you tell
Right.
it, those alone fee, those are things people looking at. There are men will be thinking like, oh wow, you, based on your response over there, they're looking at you like, wow, she's like an actual. This is somebody that can really bring value to my life. I think that's how Charlie Kirk thought, though. He didn't look at her as more
Right.
like, because I heard she was in real estate business. I think she was
She been in a whole lot of different things.
yeah,
I don't know.
Kenneth Owen just on that lady whole day. She can't sleep. But sometimes I listen to a lot of Kenneth Owen gossip about her, that she was in a lot of other things she was doing too. So I think that alone, if you take time to know a person via
Yeah.
interview and other things, I think it gives you like a whole perspective of who the
Yeah.
person really,
Okay.
yeah,
So then
is.
you wouldn't consider that as so for me, right? I would say that would be love at first sight, and then when you just spot the person across the room, to
Uh-huh.
me that's infatuation. That's
Okay.
where I'm trying to define that as.
Okay.
Because at that point I feel like you've had the opportunity to really know that you can truly love this individual, because
Uh,
at that point it's just a stranger that you're admiring across the room, and
yeah.
now you see each other, all you're doing is just giving googly eye and looking at each other, can't talk.
Okay.
But once you really get to know what type of value that person can add to your life,
Mhm.
and in that instance where you're having that conversation, you're like, yep, this is my wife. Yep, this is my husband. I feel like then you know that that's just how I'm seeing it though. That's how I will consider that. But people on, let's just say people dating on the internet now, right?
Mhm.
Um, Everything is through messaging. They're messaging, they're doing video call and all that. When you meet in person, like it confirms everything you've talked about. So when people say it's love at first, I can kind of see that. I can really, because then in that moment you've already discussed, you've talked, you've seen each other on video, but in person, that physical attraction is there, and you're like, or you feel like you belong to that person, and that person belongs to you. If
Okay.
that makes sense,
Yeah.
that's how I would think that should
Okay.
be.
Okay.
Yeah, in my opinion, I might be wrong, but I don't know.
Yeah, it makes
Hey,
makes sense. It makes sense.
yeah, Richmond.
Oh, is that
Love
you?
at first sight does not, the love at first sight does not involve a person actually already chit-chatting online. No. Love at first sight is you've never even seen this person ever before. You just randomly, the person is walking by and then all of a sudden you just see it. Bam. It's like something in your head just tweaks and you become like a zombie and you just start drooling over the person. That's love at first
But
sight.
don't you think that's infatuation?
It is, but they call it love at first sight.
Mhm.
I know that's what most people think, but for me, in my opinion, that's what I would call a love at first sight. Like I will have to have a conversation with you and know where your headspace is for me to be like, yeah, I'm a zombie for you. But I just see you across. You could be a serial killer, and I'm following you. What?
But then the thing
That's just
though,
physical attraction.
but then the thing though, if you guys call it infatuation, if I don't think, I mean, I could be wrong, but I look at it like this. I don't think people with infatuation will get married uh in a short period of time. I
Oh,
think
they
love at
do.
first sight. Yeah, people love at first sight. Like we were saying, they'll probably get married. If it is love at first sight, they'll go on to get married. But if you infatuated with a person, I don't know if people who are infatuated, someone infatuated with somebody, I don't know if they really do they get married. I mean, I don't know.
They're
Do they?
doing it.
They do.
Oh,
They're
really?
doing it. Reverse
Yeah.
bro. It's happening every day. You see them. Some like I watched a divorce court. She came on there talking about she talked to this person after 3 weeks when they met. It was first love at first sight and they're moving together. What? You move in
Look
your
at
children?
you can even check the story of what's her name? Is it Fantasia? Fantasia got married to her husband after 3 weeks of dating. So it's still the same idea.
Yeah, but
And
it's
now they're
different
still
though.
together.
Yeah,
But
but
they're still
remember,
together, right?
Yeah, he just give her a this thing 11 karat gold ring or diamond ring as their engagement because they marked 11 years today.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
this year.
but here's the thing, right, with that, right? I feel like I agree with you, but I feel like she probably had more information on him, and if like you knew something about this person before, and that
She
person probably
didn't.
knew something about you because they're in the industry.
No, from because the guy is into business, she's into music. They're not in the same industry. And like the
Ah,
guy said, they literally just met. He said they met, and then 3 weeks later they went and got married, and that was how they started.
and he
Way
knew
too
he
soon.
wanted to get married to her.
Yeah, he said he knew he
Well,
wanted to get married to her.
when a man know, I guess.
And I seen it where your girl, you over there feet. I seen it where your girl Kenneth Owens, she and I
I
British dude.
know.
I heard something that I think they said they met somewhere. And the next thing you know,
Yeah, in London.
yeah, somebody
Mhm.
that people thinking like, well, a lady like a sophisticated lady like Kenneth, people wouldn't really think. People would think Kenneth would be like they're hard to get one kind of. So they were like, what? You know,
They
I
had
think
conversation. If you actually go back, they those 3 weeks of Fantasia, them, I'm pretty sure they used that 3 weeks to their advantage to get to know what they needed to know. And they're grown and adult and felt comfortable with doing it. I feel like I actually could get married in a month to someone if we sat down and had a conversation and based on your life and things, and I felt confident enough and felt in my gut that, yeah, you're being truthful to me. I could do it.
That's way too soon. There is no way you can be sure that the person is being truthful to you at that period in time.
Based on
Way too soon.
what I want to know in that moment. If all I want to know is X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, and 3 weeks, within 3 weeks, I can do my own little research and I can say, yeah, I'm willing. The attraction is there. I'm feeling it, and I know what I'm being told and everything. I probably could. I probably could. It's a big probability. I probably could do it.
so.
But
Yeah, go
uh
ahead. Finish.
no, no, no. Go ahead.
So let me ask you.
Hmm.
s- So speak for all like typical women. I mean, all women have women are
They won't
perfect.
like me.
Yeah. So what let me just make a little kind of expand on it a little bit. Just
Mhm.
on the topic a little bit, not getting off track. But
Yeah.
okay, when you talk about marriage, so what is your expectation? I mean, in terms of timing. So okay, if you were to meet a guy, like
Mm.
when do you? Because I hear a lot of women will say, "Well, he don't want to marry me. It's taking so long, and he did." So you as a woman, so let me first of all, you feel before you go to other women. What is your timeline as far as marriage is concerned? When you met your man, like what was the time that you said, like, okay, I need to get married so time in a month time. We can't waste time. What
Ooh, that sounds desperate.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys set like a do you have a set time? Because look, I seen a lot of women. They got look, I seen women crying like, "Oh, he don't want to marry me. I'm getting old," and blah blah blah. And the man will say,
Because they
"Look,
wasted their youth.
yeah, you know, man
They
with the man
wasted
would say,
it.
if the man would say, look, I still even know you, yeah, blah blah blah." So, do you guys? Because I know you just talk about with the marry, I can get married in 1 month. Is there like a timeline that you guys? Like I mean expected timeline that women set in their head to say, okay, I must get married, or is it based on circumstances improving or a lot of other things?
That's a good question. So before I even answer that, I would say every girl that they have their mom and stuff,
Mhm.
they should always have that conversation. Like if marriage is something that is part of their life story, that's because some people are not everybody meant or want to be married, right?
Okay.
Some people just want to be career driven and live the life, but as Christian, we know we're supposed to multiply, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like as a once your daughter reached to like 20, 21, I feel like that's a conversation that mom or dad can sit down and have. Hey, you're going to school, and the whole reason you're going to school is for you to eventually take care of you and your family. Like, what's the ideal age do you think you will be ready to get married?
Hmm.
And then you can kind of like guide her on and say, well, if you graduate from school, you're working, you're doing all this by the age of 23, and you have someone decent in your life that follow all the value, why would you wait that long? I honestly wouldn't mind if my daughter got married at 23 or 25. Of course, I want her to, man, who's this person still from me? I want her to, like have her own mindset and not feel pressure. But
Hmm.
if marriage that's something that she desire and she wants to do, I would rather she's, you know, meeting people and or meeting someone that she trusts and can court in that time period. So that way she eventually have that. So with that being said, now going to your question, right?
Hmm.
For me, my idea age of getting married and was I wanted to be married like I think I had in my journal between 25 and 26, right? And
Okay.
my goal was from 26, 27, 28. Me and my husband will have that time where we've lived together and like, we've done some things as couple. Then 29, start having children.
Okay.
So at a very young age, like 19, those were like my plan. And of course, I thinking like, okay, who are you gonna date to have this type of, mindset that they want to do that? So I mean, I dated, but some of them didn't go anywhere. So when I started approaching like 25, I'm like, oh, ain't got nothing good going on.
Yeah.
The one person that I thought I had going on was not.
Hmm.
That was not the idea I thought it was. And then I was like, oh no, we got to break this up. I'm not going to waste my time here. So we broke up. So at 25, I'm just like, oh, like, I guess I just gave up. So you start to change your mind and say, well, maybe it's not going to happen at this time. What's the other possibility? Right.
Yeah.
So 25 I remember my 25th. I was like, just some people say you're still young. What are you worried about? 26, almost 27. I was single for that time, 25, 26, almost 27. It really got to me. It really got to me. I was like, oh my God, like, go. Like, I want to have kids young. I want to be young, running around with my kids. So I started like praying and saying, okay, well, I don't have any potential. But I had a friend that we had made this pact. Like he liked me, I like him, but always it was always when we were in relationship. But I never ever reached out after I became single. So he had randomly reached out to me on Instagram because we went to school together. And I did like him. I think I didn't really know too much about him, but I did like him. But at that time, I was like, I can't entertain you. Sorry. Like, I'm in a relationship. So he had reached out to me on Instagram and said, hey, stranger. And I was like, what? I was like, what? Is this a sign? Like
Yeah,
women, we go through a lot of crazy stuff. I'm
yeah.
telling myself, is this a sign? Then at that same time, going to this place, I'm seeing that my husband, he's just popping on everywhere. So, but anyways, he lived in Washington State, so it was such a long distance. I'm in the DC area, so I'm like, this is such a long distance. I don't think I want to do long distance. But I started entertaining the comment. We were texting, like conversing through text messages. Sometimes we'll call each other, but he's very busy with his job, so I was busy too. But anyway, so I planned. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be in Seattle on this weekend because I used to travel to different states every other 3 months just to change scenery and walk around, right? So I
Mhm.
said, hey, I'm gonna be in Seattle. Do you want to have dinner? And he was like, oh my God, that would be amazing. So when I got to Seattle, didn't even get to see him because when I got there, apparently his schedule, I said, no worries. I went on my own trip anyway. I didn't go there to see him, but it's just I was happening to be there. But I really wanted to see him. But when that didn't happen, anyway, long story short, come to find out, he actually had a whole fiance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had a whole fiance. I was like, what? I dodged the bullet. So
Yeah.
then I messaged him. I said, please do not message me. I'm not interested in that. Sometimes we get into the desperation because we set this whole plan
Yep.
and we want to go about this plan. So, but there were a few people were trying to hook me up. Oh, you're a good girl. I knew this person. I'm like, why is everybody trying to hook me up? Like
Uh,
everybody. I met another older guy. He's like 45 years old. He's ready for everything. My aunt said, "Oh, he's Aquarius, one child. He really, you guys will have. Maybe you should date an older man." We went on a date and man talking about that there'll only be one chief on the ship. All that. I said, "Oh no."
how they call it? That it dominant. What's the name? The patriarch. They got name for it. Oh, those people who want to run the show.
I don't even know that name, Macho. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a conversation and they're already talking all about craziness. I
Yeah.
just said, I was there like that. Okay. Okay, he said, you okay? I said, I'm okay. And then at the end of it, I block him because I used to block people really quickly. Blocking, I said, oh no. And then I just gave up on the dating. So, when I started liking my husband, when we went to that wedding thing and I started liking him, I didn't have any like plan, even though I told him like I was dating for marriage, but I didn't have like any specific time frame that I wanted to get married. Like I just wanted it to flow, like let it be. But I really let him know I would like to start having kids at the age of 29. Like
Mm,
by 35, I want to be done having kids. So
mm,
those are the time frame that I really told him. With that being said, was like, hey, if we're going to do this, I'm not going to be doing this whole high and see thing. I'm not interested in it. I'm going to give you 6 months. If you want to really have a relationship, then we can decide we're exclusively dating. After a year, you better know what you want to do. After that, after a year, if you don't know what to do, I will ghost you. I said it just like that. So
mm.
he said, no, remember I told you I want to get married to you. We can even go get married right now. I said, oh, no, not that fast.
Mm.
Then I started asking, you want paper?
You married? Yeah.
I think looking for a green guy. He said, please, I came out all my documents. I don't need your picture.
Ah.
So, yeah, but I feel like some women, when you reach the age of 30, that's when reality start hitting because by the age of 30, if you've been dating and you don't have something very substantial, now the possibility of you finding a partner, I don't want anybody to be scared. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I feel like once you're 30, the possibility of finding a genuine relationship with somebody really are into you and they really want the marriage thing and ready to settle down, I feel like it's a little bit tough because most men wants to date for a little while before they get married, and your window you're looking at 35 to have kids, and most women want to have kids by the time they're 35, they want to be done, and then the next 5 years to help raise the children. By the time they're in a 40 mid 40, the kids are a certain level. So a lot of women have that because of our biological clock, but it just depends on the woman. For me, I wanted to, and luckily for us, I saw that year click. Before even that year click, he was like ready to get married. I was like, oh, okay, let's go.
Okay. Ah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, but I wasn't rushing it. And then right after we got married, that's when I was more like, you know what, we're married. You're my husband. And if I have a kid, I don't care. Let's go.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Because I think, and I know what Richmond think about it, but
Mhm.
I think sometimes that desperation in
Yeah.
women, I think it create that whole sense of how do you call it? What would first sight, love at first sight, right? So
Yeah.
I think most women, when they are desperate, like for you, you said those timeline, right? You see
Yeah.
how those timelines were not being fulfilled initially, right? And you were a little
Yeah.
bit panicking. You're like, oh, I set this goal. So there are women out there who they will set that goal when it's not working, and then they meet this one dude somewhere and do tell her love at first sight to jump right on the train. Yeah, because she already got that particular thing said. She's like,
Plan.
okay, I already got somebody to lay my Kenya on. Thank God that you came. So
Yeah.
I think men kind of plays into that. So I don't know about rich men. Like for me, back in the days, it been years ago when I used to, when I used to go to the bar, I used to go to the bar, me and my friends and things. Like you will go to the club, to the bar, you will see certain kind of women. I don't know if rich men
Yep.
ever rich men for some reason.
Richmond went to the club with we were always there, and the girls name used to be scared because they think we're his girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when you go to the club, there will be certain women there. They will be drinking by themselves. Like something will tell you, I don't know,
They're looking
maybe
for it.
exactly. Hey, God, I don't want to be the person to say it, so I don't sound like yeah. You will see them like they will sit down, got a little glass, they drinking the thing.
Short dress, short skirt, short pants.
Exactly.
They just there without here. They're not dancing or they just sitting in the corner.
Yeah, sit in the corner, just when you enter, they got that kind of smile, and then when you throw that love at first sight on them, they grab it right away. So
Um,
I don't know, Richmond. So I think sometimes these certain situations create this love, create this whole feeling of a love at first sight. I mean, this first not feeling but believe that
yeah,
is accepted. I mean, that's why I think. I don't know what you think.
No, you're
I
right.
agree.
Mm,
Mm.
you're right. Mm, mm.
I think Richmond. I think you experienced that at the club.
Me, I didn't even care because at the end I was with you guys. So you and Anna was who I was always with. So it really didn't matter to me.
So
I wasn't
I
really doing all that
remember.
love at first sight.
So this club, there's this club. I don't know if you remember. There's this club we used to go to Mango Cafe, right? So
Yeah.
we used to go Friday. Friday was the big girls' night. I remember this lady was all over him. When we came, she's acting like she owned him. I said, "Widow, we came here with him, and she and
Ah,
our boy is gone tonight."
Even though me, I was just messing around. I wasn't taking any of them serious.
Like our boy is gone. We both of us are like, okay, I guess we just gotta dance with each other now.
yeah.
Our protector is dancing with someone. No, those used to be fun days though. I really miss those sometimes. Mango Cafe every Friday we used to go there just to release our fun. And Riverside Square were always these big and we were so tiny. We look like
Mm.
rats. We're just in the middle, skinny people. We're the only skinny people in that area. It's like a Jamaican restaurant that turned to a club at night and
Uh-huh.
they play Jamaican music. But Friday used to be like big girls' night. We just like going there because the big girls at that time it wasn't like the other ratchet people then would come in there and do all the crazy things. The big girls they just want to dance, eat. They're looking for men. So
Mm. Wait, like big? You mean big, like in weight, or
yes,
As in
with
BBWs.
really?
with BBW, yes.
I say.
Yeah, because that was the
I
period
think
in time they were coming to look for people, so
they
they
came
were
to
coming
look
there,
for
they were trying to
they
grab
have
you.
a special night for them and we used to like to go and just be there. We watched. It used to be so interesting to us. I don't know if they still do the same, but it used to be fun though. They will be dancing when they see us the skinny, oh we wanna dance with you guys.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but the whole love at first sight thing, yes, I feel like it comes from desperation. Sometimes it's real because I have heard someone was at the airport, the guy was going somewhere and he saw this lady and he was just like, oh my goodness, I got to get to know her. And when he took her number, they had conversation and that was it. He saw her. I feel like you're infatuated at first, and then when you
Mhm.
have the conversation, then you become in love. That's just that's the only way that makes sense to me. But to just see, online, message each other, moving 3 days, 3 days.
I mean, see, they got people though. They got people who, they got people who have a strong sense of feeling, right? They got people who
Wow.
they are not kind of like I wouldn't say they are spiritual people, but there are people who their
I
intuition are
just
so
determined.
yeah, exactly. Their discernment, their intuition so strong that sometimes I mean if like some people I don't know, it could actually be like something can drive them. I mean, I would understand if they got men who are just they just want to talk to every woman. But then they got people who, if you look at people that kind of preserve, people that
Yeah.
conserve themselves, when if they see a person, sometimes it could be genuine. It could be actually like that love of the first time they see the person, because they are not your typical player looking for a woman, or they don't fall in that category. So
Right.
sometimes, yeah, I would want to take them. I mean, I want to believe there are certain people got those strong discernment. They can tell, because even in the Bible, I mean, don't want to be so religious, but there was situation where, well, I know most of the things used to be like traditional family ties, and people know, and God used to speak to them. But there was some relationship where people just met. People met. So I think those things happen today. There are people who had a strong discernment that they can tell. Yeah,
True.
yeah. There are women who will wait. I see women. I know women in Liberia there. I mean, I know they are being honest. They're not, because these are people that I mean, I know, and they'll be like, I'm waiting for God's time. There are a lot of men that been coming my way. Men been talking to me. They been wondering how am I living my life. I'm single and I'm looking good. And she would tell me like, well, I'm waiting for God's time, because I believe I'm. People would say, sit down there and wait for the red man, you will get old. But that
No, it's okay. They will
yeah,
come.
yeah. So you know, one day she might just see the red person and be like, well, this is him. So I think love at first sight. My battery dying now, but to
I know
my
we're
thing,
about to close.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me conclude. I think
Mhm.
love at first sight, yes, it could be deceiving. A lot of times it could be deceptive,
Yeah.
depending on the individual. You have to be careful with it, especially when you're a woman. I don't know how frequently it happens to men. I don't know a lot of women that walk over to men and be like, I remember this one lady looking for a man to Walmart. She just behind me. Oh, I love your accent. When we came, I said, I
Uh,
love your accent. I said,
she's
man, look,
infatuated.
I just look at. I say, I beg you, please, just go on outside. I, I
Come
can't say
on, they
much.
were gonna show her. They were gonna
Yeah,
show her the lady accent.
exactly. Yeah, she kept trying to bring us to. Oh, there's this bar, this Jamaican. I said, okay, yeah, okay, I got it later. So yeah, I don't know that many women that will come out to a man, that do the love at first sight thing. I know it's predominantly among men. There are a lot of men who would see women. I think because of vulnerability fee, if I could say, and
Yeah,
because of desperation. So a lot of time women buy into that. To buy
I
into that.
agree.
Yeah, we men. I mean, women coming out to you first. The first thing that come to your mind, like, okay, sugar mama or something like,
Hmm.
you're not going to look at any, sorry to say, broke chick, broke lady come up to you, say love at first sight. You looking like, okay, but women always buy into that. I think because of, like I said, desperation or other things not going right in their life. They got a plan, like you plan your whole stuff is not working. So you are so desperate to fulfill your plan that when you will see anybody, Prince Charming, like the parable say that when you're drowning, you try to hang on to any piece of rope, anything just to
Yeah, you
say,
gotta
like,
survive.
yeah. So yeah, it was a great topic. For those that will watch later or those that are watching, we are not counselors, just giving our view, our perspective on things. But yeah, Fee, even with your tiredness, the
No,
thank you for coming on and at least continue to make the show. I know it's not easy with your work schedule, but we'll just continue to pray. I don't know if
yeah,
you stay there or not. I know you're trying to leave, but
I'm
we
trying to leave. What?
just remember over Teshi.
I can't handle it.
All
I'm
right,
trying.
yeah. So far that's my contribution. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, what you want to say, Rich?
Man is just gonna say they should. Like he already said, we are just giving our own opinions. So
Right.
do not take it personal. This is just our personal opinions. We're not counselors, we're not shrinks. We're just average human beings. But overall, do not believe in really love at first sight because you can be deceived. There's a lot of people that jumped into love at first sight and then they end up getting divorced. There are some
Mm-hmm.
that have gotten into love at first sight and it ends up being happily ever after. You cannot know a person in that short period of time. Looks can be very much deceiving. So take the time to actually get to know a person. And even though you do love at first sight, do not go and jump into marriage like that because that's how you're going to end up getting into divorce, or you might even meet your worst nightmare that will end up beating you from head to toe and turn you into a punching bag. So be careful. That's all I can say. Women, please be careful and do not be too desperate. Take your time, even though that clock is clicking or ticking. Take your time. It's better to wait and find the right person than go and jump into something that would eventually destroy you and then you start regretting and saying, had I known. Don't do that. Take your time and get to know the person for real because that first 6 months, trust me, the person might just give you a different side of him that you believe is the wonderful side. And then after everything is over now, he will turn into something different. So
Right.
be careful. That's all I'm going to say. Careful and take your time to get to know who the person is. Get to see their bad side. Do
Mm-hmm.
not, yeah, they always say it's if you're under the same roof, that's where you see the nastiness of the other person. It is true, but at the same time, just tread with caution. That's all I'm really gonna say. But thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Richmond. I think you guys says everything already. As you guys are saying it, I'm thinking maybe we should have a topic next week on what is the idea of time to, like, be in a relationship and get married, you know? Let's think about that. What is that? Like what does that look like? I know it's different for everybody, but um like it's just it hit me because I saw a clip somewhere that just kind of bring it back. But everybody have said it all. I mean, you know, love at first sight might not be fake, but I think believing it wholeheartedly and going after it might be the fake part of it. But everybody already said everything that I wanted to say. I just want to say, like, be careful out there. Like I shared earlier, I have a very good interpersonal skills. I can be having conversation with a person and I can tell what next this person is expecting me to say and I can say it and they would be happy to hear it. So there's a lot of people out there who are like that. They're very calculative and they know, you know, they may have actually been watching you and know what it is your prayer point, or they know somebody who you know. I've heard and seen that where somebody, you know, find someone that knows the person, they get all the details, and they come out and lie to them and say it was love at first sight, and then come to find out it was all a game and setup. So just be careful out there. The one thing that you have control over is you. Who you share your life with and things like that. You need to be very protective of that. So love at first sight might be real, it might be, but for me, I feel like you need to have some type of conversation for me to feel like, yeah, maybe I do like this person. Love is a very strong action word to just throw around. So just be careful who you make your heart, you know, um, available to so that don't play on it because a lot of people are out here doing that. So just be careful. It might be possible, but I don't know. So there you have it. Thank you guys for coming on. I know we've been having crazy time with the schedule. Hopefully we'll get some stability back again soon. But I'm a zombie and I'm here. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you share the show. I see you guys next week. I plan on being here next week by the grace of God.
Okay, Fee. All right, okay, Richard.
All
Okay.
right, y'all
Okay,
have a good
okay.
night. All
You
right.
too.
Night, night, guys. You have a good night. Ah, yeah, yeah. Where am I?